What is going on, guys? In today's video we built some custom controls for this 500cc Suzuki swapped lawnmower. We built a throttle, we built a brake pedal, we built a custom gear shifter. Let's get to it. So right now it would fit. It sits really good height like that, but we're sitting there. So we need to bring it back and down at the same time, and that will help us. Alright, here's the seat we're going to use. This thing's definitely seen better days, but if it's any good, then I can just get another one because they're quite easy to get on eBay and stuff. So I made these little tabs to go on here, but underneath. I'm super lazy when it comes to making tabs, so if there's anything I can cut anything off, I do that, and this was off an old quad bike, so cut those off. We'll drill these holes, we'll bolt them on, and then we can weld these to the frame of the mower. Let's get this seat put on, I'm so excited. Panel washers, they hide all man's mistakes. In this case, they're hiding the cracks in the seat. A little less sketchy that way. Yeah, it's super hugging. Really gets around the side of you, makes you feel like you're locked in. Now, steering wheel's about arm length away. I'm pretty short, so that's not too bad. Pedals, this is where it's good to do the seat first and work out pedals, but probably pedals up around that. I'll just whip this little bad boy up. It's gonna go underneath and pick up the rear part of the seat, just like that. So on the back of the seat, you can see they've had something here on the go-kart, and I'm guessing it would have been like a nice little hurdle to stop the seat from pushing back. So I think what the best thing is for us to do, to just go straight up across, best as we can. We'll bolt through it with one bolt, and then I'll give us somewhere to put lights on and stuff if we want to do that in the future. And we're just gonna have to notch out a little bit of the body here so that can still come out with it. I don't know about this. It's way too straight. I really wanted to put a bend here, and I think I'm gonna have to. Oh yeah. I'm not lying. That feels super solid. So in the last video, we added this chain tensioner on the top side of the chain. Now, when I was editing that video, I realized, and I'd already finished, that I'd put it on the wrong side. It needs to be on the slack side. So let's move it to the bottom. So I was looking at putting some controls on here. I started moving the wheel and noticing how much play these front wheels have got. And I realised, obviously these are off a front wheel drive car and they need the CV to stop that play. We can't have that. So I'm wandering off track a little bit. I was going to do controls, but we're going to strip these CVs down really quick, take the boots off, take the grease out. Yay! Look at that. Okay, so there's the clip that we had to expand and push it off. Easy design once you know how it works. Let's finally build some controls for this thing. I've whipped out the supplies I got when I bought the motor. We can see that it runs a twin cable setup for the throttle. So one lengthens, one shortens. We're gonna have to try and mimic that. So let's build a pedal first and we'll try and make this work. Alrighty, here's the crazy contraption I'm thinking of doing. So we'll cut a little bit off that. This will be our tube that was gonna rotate over the top of this. This will get welded in the footstep area, so it'll probably be on the angle because I'm feeling like the throttle needs to be on a bit of an angle. Then we'll drill a 20mm hole through that, and that'll get slid in between and fully welded, and this will be like a sleeve inside. We can leave a little bit of excess tail underneath so that when we operate the throttle we can hook one cable there, one cable there. Alright, so I've got the pedal. This went through so many transformations. It needs to be sitting about here. And I've just put a spring on just for now so we can see how it feels. But with it in that position, it does feel very nice. Alright, so I've got the cable fitted up really loosely at the moment. And I'm just playing around with this thing and it operates quite nicely. Now, a quick Google search says that some bikes obviously run single throttle cable, which is more so what I've seen. And some run the double, the push-pull type. And the second one's only in case the spring was to break on the carby. At least it's going to let it go back. But what I think for our use, we're only going to need one. So we'll hook one up for now. And if I find in the future I do need it, it's always, the slot's always there and I can make a bracket off the pedal quite easily. Now we're just going to cut a little slot in this plate. That can slide through. And then, yeah, we'll bolt something over the top to cover that. So this will bolt up underneath, under there. I'm making this removable and not doing weld in like I did there, so we can at least service this part if need be, and our spring can come back onto this. Oh yeah, very happy with that. Copper, so the pedal can't go back too far now. So this bolt, I do have to extend this bolt a little bit, get a longer one, but you can see spring's back now. So you can see the little tab here, and as we wind that in, it is applying the throttle more and more. So I've just got that set nice, the nice loose bit, so you just touch it, won't rev up too much. Yeah, got a nice travel on this now. So the spring here, I'm not going to keep that, that's only there just for sort of testing, maybe the first test drive, but I will get a better one, and then eventually we're probably going to put a trim piece over all this so it doesn't fill up full of mud. The next thing I'd like to hook up is the clutch, because to put the brake here we have to do the clutch first. It's kind of in the way, cut away at this cover. I'm thinking if we can sort of come down and maybe trim it like that. Look at how clean of a cut that is. Takes a little bit to get in between this sort of edge, bog in, but then it just goes nuts here and slows down here. So super handy to have. Friggin' awesome machine for what we paid. Alright, so I tried to put the cover on. It was going in almost to this shaft and it was still hitting this cover, this side cover. And I do see another issue. We're going to run into any sort of clearance to make a gear lever. So we're just going to cut this bottom one off, cut the top one off. I'll make a new removable bit that goes in. Gear lever time. Here's our gear shifter. Alrighty, so we've got a cable on. I'm thinking something like cable tie it down here at some point when I can. Now it's very short, that's the only trouble about this. I think this handle should work. I may have to cut the end of this shifter off and weld a bit of tube on for that to slide down onto. And that should be pretty much it for the clutch. Kept one of those CV balls from the front. Fits just perfect, we'll weld that around. I think that'll look pretty cool. Alright, sometimes I like to throw the bodywork back on just to really get me inspired again to do this thing. Oh, how good does it look? I love it. Okay, so this one is very similar to the accelerator pedal, except I made this all out here so we can cut it in and just fit it straight onto the mower. So basically this is the only section here you'll see. This will be the pedal above deck, but this is below deck, so we'll put a guard and everything under this eventually. But I made this one also not serviceable with the pedal side of things, but at least we can remove the master cylinder, and we'll have this reservoir up here somewhere. So we've got the pedal all welded up there. Now I can change this angle, I've just sort of done it a little bit, just tacked it on either side so we can sort of alter that if we need be. But this thing is really good. I'm happy how this side turned out. It's actually better than the throttle side because I really made it all one compact unit. Did weld it in, but that sort of part doesn't need to come out. It's only the master cylinder. And I've added a nice little kick here to try and keep your foot onto the pedal so it doesn't sort of slip off. Now just have to make a mount up for this reservoir and then we're all good. Alrighty, there you have it. Looks really good, that piece. We can get to the lid really easily. Unscrew, fill it up if we need to, and it's not in the way because my foot lands at the front. Now I rushed through this piece because I found it's a lot quicker to do things off camera, but I really do feel bad because I didn't show you guys how I made it, and there was a lot of sort of custom bending and work and all that involved, and cardboard aided design going on. So we'll do the other side, and then I'll just have to do the middle section. So here's a template from the other side. I should be able to just flip that over and use that. Two minutes to cut that, probably 5-10 minutes on the grinder. Right, we've got that one all finished. That fitted up quite well. I did have to trim the bottom of this edge off, but that was okay. Sanded that. That's all clean. Now I can probably sand and get this a little bit better, but it is a mower. I don't really care, to be honest. So next section will be this part here. I was going to weld this one in and join it into here so it's nice and neat, but I'm thinking we'll make it removable so we can get to the top of this because I don't know what we're going to put in here yet. Alright, I think that's good. I'm going to end this video here. It's getting quite long, I think, and it's really good to have all the controls and things done. So yeah, gear shifter, we've got brake, clutch lever, sorry, we've got brakes, we've got a throttle now. Super happy with this. Thank you guys for watching. It is really good to have all the controls hooked up now. Now we're on to finicky things like electrical, plumbing in the air suspension. I do want to do a little bit to the front suspension. I keep mentioning that, but I keep putting it off because I can't be bothered with it. But we'll get that done very soon. We've got to do a fuel tank for this thing as well. exhaust, just things like that, but it is getting super close. So I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 more videos and this thing will be out ripping around. Super excited for that, so make sure you stay tuned. If you've just stumbled across the channel, definitely go check out all the other content and leave us a comment down below. I'd like to reply back to you guys. And I want to say a massive thanks. We just hit 4,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago. So thank you to everyone who supported the channel along the way. It's been a really big journey. And if we can try and get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be awesome. So be sure to stick around, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so don't miss anything. I'll see you guys in the next one.